Shout out to the homies at Manscaped, the leaders in below the waistline grooming. Yes, indeed. But man, we got a couple of awesome things going on with them today. All right. So not just the usual, because we know the main thing is the promo code, which is MOATS, right? You use that MOATS, you get 20% off of your purchases site wide, along with free shipping worldwide. But that's not it. That's just not it. Okay. Because we know this time of year is holiday season. In particular, one of the best holidays coming up is Black Friday, right? All the sales. Everybody get a deal. You get a deal. I get a deal. Oh, we can't forget Cyber Monday as well, right? Cyber Monday. Oh, you get a deal. You get a deal. Everybody got deals. Deals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Manscaped also is doing a deal, man. They're also doing a deal. So site-wide from the 22nd, which was yesterday, right? November 22nd, all the way to November 29th, okay? The 22nd through the 29th. That's a 7-day span. That's a lot of days right there. You will get 25% off all site purchases. All right. All site purchases for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That is what they are doing. Still use that promo code. All right. Still use the promo code. So that way you know where you're getting that love from. But you will get 25% off now. Okay. 25% off during this time because of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So that is a dope thing that my friends over at Manscaped are doing for the holidays, because they want to make sure that, you know, whether you're stocking stuffings or whatever you're doing, that your stocking is a little, you know, trimmed up and is looking nice and elongated the way it's supposed to be. All right. So shout out to the homies at Manscaped, man. But use that promo code MOATS as always.
Bro, missing Watt, Joe Haden,
and Minkah.
That's huge. Yeah. That's huge. Like I mentioned, like it's almost like, what else do you expect? I mean, you know it was going to be a struggle.
Those are your three best players at three crazy positions in terms of edge rusher, corner, and safety.
Well, plus Loudermilk even too. Like we got, I'm watching the replay right here. We got on TV. Like we had Mondo out there. We got Tuska out there. 50 like dudes I'd never even heard of playing. So you know, whatever, man. Let's just get healthy. That's the thing. I don't think there's anything long term to necessarily take away from this on defense. Now, I guess we're seeing some of the things with Devin Bush consistently show up, but in terms of other stuff, I just don't think they put up that many. If we have TJ, Minkah, and who else am I missing out there? TJ, Minkah, and Joe Haden. Yeah, I don't think they put up that many points. Now, yeah, do they still get in the high 20s potentially? I just think it's a different game, though.
I do as well, solely because if TJ's out there, he's going against their right tackle. What was his name? 74. He was the bad one. Like all of the action that was happening, he was involved.
Taco wasn't doing shit. Let's just be real.
But when Alex got over there on 74, he would cook him.
Yeah, he had a good game too.
And my issue is this. It was like, part of me, I'm a little upset that they waited that long to identify it, because Alex going against Slater, I mean, he had the one spin that was really good, but as a whole, Slater is Slater. Slater's a really good young tackle in his league. But to me, it was a drastic mismatch when Highsmith went to TJ's original side and was going up against the right tackle 74. I'm drawing a blank on his name. But anytime he was over there, he would cook him. Like, it wasn't even close. And for me, I'm just like, man, why not just stay there and put Taco and Tuska against Slater? Because Slater is going, I mean, like, Slater's doing his thing over there. But it's like, yo, why not just let you just cook and dominate this game? Because when he was over on that side, he was having just crazy impact. And that was one of the things that I thought, man, if you see that could have changed it. But if TJ's out there, and if Highsmith is doing that, TJ would have looked even more insane. So I do think that would have changed some things a lot as well, man.
That's the other thing with Joe Haden. I know we talk about his age and he's up there, but when has he got burned this year? We miss him.
Yeah.
Whenever he's out there with Cam Sutton and you got Pierre's like the third guy, now we don't have Joe Haden. It's pretty noticeable in coverage, because I thought when we try to get creative and throw some pressure at Herbert, there was no, I mean, it was just wide open. He would drop back and like Witherspoon's getting torched. Dudes were just running wide open. But then other times where we tried to drop back in coverage, we couldn't get pressure at all because we're missing TJ Watt.
Yeah.
So it was frustrating. It was just frustrating for the defense, but it was just like, oh man,
but
what else can we do? This is who we have out there, man.
But I also think that even with those guys would have been different, yes. But I still think Herbert was going to force our defense to do some stuff that they don't want to do. Whereas the man-to-man coverage, I think we were going to still try to play that type of stuff. So like Herbert, you think about Herbert's impact, right? It wasn't just his arm.
It was mainly his legs.
His legs killed us.
Because a bunch of the dudes were wide open. He was throwing
killed us. His legs killed us. To me, that wasn't going to change even with TJ being out there. Because TJ, he still does some of the same stuff in terms of like with his rushes where he gets a little bit out of his lanes. And the problem is with Herbert, and you're playing man-to-man defense like our defense wants to do, or even when we're playing zone, we match up and it turns into man. As soon as your rush lanes get out of whack, he's taking off. And I could point down the list of every rusher in this game, whether it was Cam, whether it was Heisman, whether it was Tuska, whether it was Taco. I mean, we go down the list, all of those guys at one point or multiple times were undisciplined in their rush lanes, and it resulted in a big run by Herbert. So even with, some of the guys out there, I still think that would have been an issue because of how well he could run and how, just knowing our coaching staff, we get a little stubborn with our plans at times where we going to say, yo, it's going to work. It's going to work. And it's like, bro, Stu got 90 yards rushing. It's not working, coach. You got to stop this. All right.
You talk about being undisciplined in the rushing lanes. You think that was just due to us getting a lack of pressure? No, those dudes trying to not just force the issue.
This has been on tape. Like, this is how we rush. That's one of the things that we love. But at the same time, when you play against a mobile quarterback, it can kill you. Like, Justin Fields didn't really do it as much. He could have, but he didn't do it as much. But when you're playing against mobile quarterbacks, you have to be disciplined. Goff wasn't, he's not a mobile guy, so you're not as worried about him, right? Trying to think, who else do we have during this? I'm drawing blank on the schedule right now.
But we had Burrow, we had Carr,
like Geno Smith. I'm talking about during like the four
not
game,
even
like,
him.
Nobody that's
Broncos, Bridgewater,
like that. Whereas like with Herbert, he was the first like legitimate guy who not just could do it, but utilized it. And that was going to be one of the things that it would force us to play a traditional zone defense where you got eyes on him. But the problem with that is these receivers that they have, they know how to sit in the zone. You talk about Keenan Allen, you talk about Mike, you talk about Jerry Cook. Like, these dudes know how to win. You know what I mean? So regardless of, certain players being back, I still think they were going to be able to score points on us, man.
Sure. I mean, I just think the tandem of those three guys, though, whether it's Minkah and Joe Haden helping in coverage where maybe the dudes could sit in their rush lanes a little bit better, having TJ Watt, the defensive player, like that, those things have to help, to definitely a certain degree. Like, I don't think the guys are running wide open and there's all these blown coverages as much if Minkah's out there and Joe Haden.
Yeah. But see, the only reason I say I think it is because not all of it was blown coverage. They got guys that were going to win. Like Joe Haden, I love Joe. That's my guy. Joe's not going to cover Keenan Allen for 4 quarters. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, there are guys we're going to get.
But I think it's much better than having Witherspoon out there.
100% is better. 100%. But
and Pierre's obviously, he's going to play, and Norwood's going to play. But to have them all of a sudden be like your second cornerback or your second guy is different than being your third or fourth guy in a utility role.
I agree with you. I just don't think we had anybody that was going to just match up with their receivers. Like,
at the end of the day, it didn't really matter because we were up 37-34 though. That's the craziest part about it. With how the game played out, like, you would take that any day going into this.
I personally want it. I don't want them scoring that much on us. But
just the concept of being up 3 though with 3 minutes left, having the ball.
But to me, less about the secondary because, like I said, I didn't care if it was going to be Joe out there or if it is Witherspoon. Like, those guys, I thought they would win their fair share. To me, the big issue was 5-5 on Eckler. That's the difference. No, seriously.
We just getting into it now.
4 touchdowns. I mean, what are we talking about here? Yeah. And I mean, it was a highlight. It was a one-on-one matchup. So even with Joe Haden being out there, Joe's not guarding Eckler. Even with Minkah being out there, Minkah's not guarding Eckler. We knew who was going to have to guard Eckler. And he just wasn't good enough. I mean, it was bad at times. It was really bad at times, man. Like, to me, that was going to be an issue still. Like, with all these other pieces around, we didn't have that answer. And that was something that they could have exploited even more. They didn't, but they could have done it even more so. And like I said,
they didn't run the ball that much.
They did not. They did not. And it was just like when they wanted to, they
had 10 yards a pop.
Yeah, but they didn't have to. And that's the thing for me. I'm like, we bring these other pieces in. Okay, does that make them just resort and say, okay, we're really going to go and feature this guy? Because 5-5, I mean, let's be real about it. He wasn't stopping him. Like, his vision was really bad at times. Like, really bad at times. I don't know, man.